Fanatic.com. Play against the Fanatic Air Staff and all the listeners. You can score the grand prize of $1,580 or the second place prize of $500. Provided by our friends at Harman Solar. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com. The Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Exclusively from your home for the NFL and Super Bowl 56 in Arizona.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees. 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harman Solar today. Harman Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harman Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to avoid expensive home repair bills. John, a former non-customer, said, "My air conditioner broke and I had to spend $1,900 to fix it." Jeff, a customer, wrote, "My air conditioner broke and I got a new one at no out-of-pocket cost." Mary, a former non-customer, wrote, "My heating system stopped running. I had to spend $3,000 to get a new one." Lisa, a customer, wrote, "My heater stopped working. I got it fixed at no out-of-pocket cost." For about $1 a day, you can have all the major appliances and systems in your home guaranteed fixed or replaced with HSC's home warranty coverage. Call now, and the first month is free. If the lines are busy, please call back.
800-657-5714. 800-657-5714. 800-657-5714. That's 800-657-5714.
You will solve the great mystery.
Streaming only on Peacock.
This is Robert Langdon. The suspect called him.
I teach symbology. He wants me to locate an ancient portal buried within the Capitol.
From the author of the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons.
It's your dad. People who took it want me to find a piece of a very old puzzle.
And executive producers Ron Howard and Brian Grazer.
We have to finish this or my dad is dead.
Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol. Streaming now with new episodes every Thursday. Only on Peacock.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K242 Rollins Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender, starting week 2 of the NFL. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in there pushing some buttons, and Ralph from Harman Solar is joining us to do our picks. Yes, you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar studios in Scottsdale. Today does not just mark week 2, game 1. It also marks the anniversary of the origin story of the NFL. That's right. Back in 1920, today, an American Professional Football Association organized by George Halas was formed in Canton, Ohio in an automobile showroom. I know you guys have probably heard the story. The original teams each paid $100 to be a part of the league, included the Decatur Staleys, the Canton Bulldogs, the Dayton Triangles, and 2 years later, the APFA that had 14 teams says, we got a better name. What do you want to call it? National Football League. And the rest is history. So Here we are on that anniversary.
On this date in Big George's sports history.
No. That's later. This is just, I was just telling you the origin story of the NFL, which is the anniversary today.
Thought I forgot to fire the on this date in Big George's sports history sounder.
Well, no, we're not doing that right now, Randy. We're going to do that later. We're going to do that in the 4 o'clock hour. It's a football related on this date in Big Georgia
Oh, so
sports
it is
history.
on this date in Big Georgia sports history.
But not
Okay.
right now, Randy. Turn it off. Just shut it off. Shut it off. We're not doing it now. We're doing it later. I'll let you know when the time comes to do
Sure
that
thought
later.
it sounded like on this date in Big Georgia sports history, but all right, very good.
Hold
Thank
your
you.
fire is all I'm saying. And also, it's National Guacamole Day. I don't know if you guys know that, but it's National Guacamole. You don't necessarily always put guacamole on a taco.
I mean, if you got it there, you got the guacamole, you throw that on the taco, or
I've
you
been
get
known
some
to do
chips
it, but
and
not everybody
guacamole,
does.
You put some of that hot sauce in the guacamole, you mesh it all up, you get some of them nice tortilla chips. Oh my gosh, now we're living. Now we're living.
Okay, well, burritos, quesadillas, it's not just all about the tacos. Have you had any good guacamole yet since you've been in town there, Keon?
I'm sure that it exists, but
Where do we send him? Where do we send him?
I'm not really big on guac.
My house.
Okay, you go over to Ralph's house. He'll take care of you.
Come over. My wife makes awesome guacamole.
Okay.
All right. Well, that
Give
just
it a shot.
made it a lot easier right there.
I won't charge you.
I was just going to say,
Exactly.
let's find a good restaurant to send him.
Well, I mean, Keon, you're in rarefied air. None of us, Jeffrey or myself, have been invited over to Ralph from Harmon Solar's house.
Not
None of
once.
us
Nope.
get the chance to go and have some wonderful guacamole. But you, the new guy, you get the chance to go over. That's okay. We're just
That's.
we'll
There's
stand
a
in the
reasoning
corner.
for it, Randy. I'm just not going to talk about it.
I'm
I think
sure
he
there
knows
is.
we'd eat him out of guacamole and home if we showed up. That's why.
Yeah. Got
All
any
right.
more beer?
Fair enough. But what I love about this is I was looking at National Guacamole Day, and there says, oh yeah, in the 1500s, the Aztecs made a spread with avocados called a huacamole or avocado sauce, and I like that it says in the 1500s is when they started. No, that's when the Spaniards showed up and saw them already doing it, probably for centuries before that, and then said, well, here's some smallpox. Give me the guacamole.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've been paying extra for it.
Trade you.
Yep. All right. So before we get started, we have nothing but football as we get ready for Thursday night football at 5 p.m. Well, before we get into picks and the NFL player updates and stuff, and then of course we have the fantasy football questions in the next hour. Before we get into all of that, something happened again that made me think of you, Randy. Yeah. Do you know?
Me?
Yeah. It made me.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you'll think that when
Go
we're
ahead.
done. But talking about the umpire that ejected the entire grounds crew
Oh, yeah,
from
I
the
saw
field during the Yankees-Orioles game.
Saw that. Yeah.
I just thought that was that an overreaction?
Well, I mean, timeout. Like what? How many did they have? How many groundskeepers do you need? Good God, there was like 47 guys.
Well, they got to roll
down-
that tarp.
Well, there was no reason to roll the damn tarp out. The umpires hadn't called for the ground. Get the hell off the field. That's what he was doing. Get off the field. What are you doing? Get out of here.
They were just sitting there waiting because at a moment's notice you got to be able to roll the tarp out. You got to bring the tarp back.
There was no rain.
Well, I don't know why. Were they there because it was threatening to rain?
No.
Had it rained earlier? I mean,
No.
I know there's a potential storm that was going to pass through the area. Maybe.
Probably late in the day or late in the game. I mean, and getting ready to cover the field for the overnight.
And what did it hurt? What did it hurt to have those guys
Well,
just sitting there at the
all right.
ready with
All right.
the giant roll?
What did it hurt? Let's say the Colts are driving.
Yeah.
It's late in the game.
Yeah.
You're down by 3 points.
That's probably
And-
more than 3, but go ahead.
And you got the groundskeeping crew
Yeah.
that is sitting there somewhere near the field. What's your quarterback's name? Carson Wentz. He throws the ball, and the groundskeeping crew is not paying attention. They wander onto the field and
Why
interfere
would
with
they
the
wander
game-winning
on the field?
pass. Because that's what these guys do.
Okay, first
They're
off,
down
these
there
guys
playing grab
were not
ass,
wandering.
and
They
they're
were
not paying
sitting.
attention to the game.
They were just sitting there actually paying attention to the game. They were behind that giant roll and they were just kind of watching. And for some
Get off the
reason, the
field.
umpire got upset and threw them off. Now, if the same thing happened during a
Get
Colts game,
Get off. The field.
well, they got photographers, they got people, you're used to seeing people standing
off
by.
the field.
Nobody would care if the
Get-
grounds crew was in the standby
Get off the-
position.
You get a ball that goes fair and it goes down that line, and these yahoos are sitting out there eating peanuts watching a ball game when they shouldn't be out there. Then he goes in there and gets all. Now you got a
So
dead
you want to
ball
put nets
situation.
around the guys, the
No,
grounds
I
crew?
want
Or?
the damn housekeeping crew to stay off the field. Get off the field. That's what that was. Get off the field.
I didn't think it was hurting nothing, but if you say so,
Get off the field.
Just seemed like I've never seen a grounds crew get tossed before.
Now you have.
Does that count towards suspension, or is there? Is there anything that these guys got to worry about now?
He didn't throw them out of the ballpark, and they're not in the game, so he can't eject them from the game. He just threw them.
He was making the ejecting,
damn field,
thing there. So all right,
get off the. I can't tell you how many softball games I've been in, and some well-meaning bystander is meandering through the outfield, taking their sweet ass time. Usually, a guy smoking a cigarette. He's got his dog with him. And he looked mangy, like he's been in the park for 4 or 5 days. Hey, you know what? Hey, get the hell off the field.
I mean, I get it if they're on the field in play area, but he's over there on the side. Hey, they're not hurting nothing. That's all I'm saying.
You're in dangerous ground. What if
that's on them?
What if a damn 112 mile an hour line drive goes whistling over there where those meanders are sitting and poking fun at the
as you always say,
you know what? Hell off the field.
Yeah, you know what? You get what you get. That, as you always say, I guess you're
off. The field. Get off the field. Get off the field.
They were off to the side.
Nope. Get off the field.
All right. Well, this is not what we're here to argue about, but maybe we'll argue about that more another time. But today is all about the football. But first, let's get caught up on the text line, 888-368-1580. Fed fan says, get off my lawn, you dang kids.
That's right. Get off the field.
That's exactly what just happened there.
Crew, get the hell out of here.
Yep. Jagdog said Chandler Jones called Kyler Murray Baby Yoda. He did. Kyler Murray started it by saying that, Chandler Jones, he doesn't look good without a shirt on, but boy, is he a good player. I don't know what's going on there, but it's all in good fun, I think.
Yeah.
Because
it's hard to tell with Kyler.
Let me tell you who's going to win that one.
Yeah, it's not going to be Kyler. Well, I mean, come on. Yeah.
You think he's gonna just jump up on a step stool and go spider monkey on him or something?
No, I think Kyler's eluding skills are a bit better than Chandler Jones' pursuing skills.
Is he gonna go that little dwarf guy from Elf just run across the table and
whistle? I wasn't gonna blow a whistle.
Call me Elf one more time.
Yeah, there's two. There's two.
Mr. Wilbur says, yippee, remote at Randy's house. BYOM, bring your own meat, and the fourth dimension is going to grill our little hearts out. But what made you think that was even appropriate, Mr. Wilbur?
Did I mention we were broadcasting?
No, Ralph did. Ralph invited Keon to his house.
And just Keon. So
yeah. Keon is the first person other than Randy White that I've invited to my house.
Yeah.
And it's not immediate. We're going to wait till a few things happen, but soon Keon and Randy will come over, watch some football.
I still don't understand why you need my social security number, and why do I have to have a credit check before I come over to your house?
Well, are you going to bring the guacamole?
I would, but
okay.
That's the only reason I'm
all right,
coming,
I'll invite you.
I'm good for something.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you bring guacamole, that's all that matters. Let's see. Donnie says, good afternoon, boys. Can you hear that? It's the sound of teeth chattering amongst the Cardinal fans here in the Valley. They are so scared of Kirk. Sorry, Donnie, I couldn't read it without laughing.
Yeah.
They are so scared of Kirk Cousins and Falvin Cook embarrassing them.
Yeah.
Who's this Falvin Cook you speak of, Donnie?
I don't know.
He shares the same first letter of the first name as you do, and you can't type it in right?
Apparently couldn't find the D.
Yeah, well, it's right next to the F. Anyway,
it turns out the Vikings couldn't find the D either, which is a major problem.
Oh,
boy. Wow.
Zing.
Thundersnow says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Keon, for what it's worth, I'm rooting for Taylor Heineken and the WFT tonight.
Well, thank you. We need all the support we can get.
Yes,
I believe that's WTF, not WFT.
All right, it works for me.
Yeah, work.
Moist One says, let's go, Ralph. Talk that shiz. See? Hawks.
We'll be talking.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll be talking.
King Kitten says, we went to Rocky Point. My girlfriend's made the best guacamole with fresh local Mexican ingredients. I'm not a fan of guacamole, but I do like mild mango and pineapple salsa. All right. Let's see. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Thursday. Major League Baseball umpires are out of control. They're egotistical maniacs. They're drunk with power. I can't wait for the robots. Bring me the robots.
Even when they do put the automated strike zone in play, you're still going to have umpires on the field. Sorry, Big George. And this was not a power drunk thing. This is a matter of safety. If somebody won't look out for these brain dead individuals they call groundskeepers, the umpires have to stand in the gap, and they've got to make sure these guys are safe at all times.
You take that back.
What are you talking about?
After what we saw at Sun Devil
And I will
Stadium.
not take it back.
And the amazing design that was on that field in honor of September 11th,
Yeah.
a finely manicured lawn and logo, just professionally put that in that. And ASU's grounds crew has done amazing things in the past. Can't call them brain dead.
Well, in Baltimore, they are.
Oh, yeah, totally in Baltimore. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
thank you.
Mr. Pink Eye says Chipotle has good guacamole.
No, they don't.
No.
It's got too many onion chunks in it, if you ask me.
No.
Papa Mike says they may have been in foul territory, but a fair ball is still in play there. Randy is correct. Get the hell off the field.
Thank you.
So, okay. A fair ball is still in play there. Or were they
right.
in that range where it
Yes,
could
they
be
were.
fair and then roll out over?
They were in foul territory inside the wall, and they were up there on that the big tarp roll thing. Yeah, they were in play. Get the hell off the field.
All right. Just stop yelling at me. I wasn't there. I wasn't on the
I
ground
didn't
crew.
yell. I just said it very sternly. Get the hell off the damn field.
Cheese Skulls Burner says, Keon, I liked you yesterday. Today, that Vikings dig you just gave. Well, I'm rethinking my position for today.
Oh boy.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I just don't like their defense
Mhm.
at all.
What defense?
That's the point.
Right. Blissful Hayes says, hey, Jeffrey, who won the game last weekend between the Seahawks and the Colts? Exactly who I picked.
Boy, you guys waited till today.
That's her out. Exactly who you picked.
Big George says, I can't believe Randy just insulted all the hardworking groundskeepers across
No.
the country with his
No.
remark. Wow.
Those lackeys in Baltimore at Orioles Stadium.
Only
Hey,
the
Their
hardworking
ball team
groundskeepers.
sucks. The groundkeepers suck. The ticket takers suck. They need to
Yeah.
do so. They need to fire everybody and start from the ground up with the Orioles organization.
Yeah, and what made it worse is the Yankees won the game. So,
Yeah.
they at the moment that happened, the Yankees were down 3-2. And whatever happened, the Orioles
Groundskeepers.
ground crew blew it for them.
That's right. Ruined the rhythm of the game for the Orioles. They had to stop play and tell these guys, hey, get off the damn field. You're in play.
Yeah, I can see why you'd be angry. Now I'm angry. Now I'm angry because I want the Yankees to hurt, and they didn't.
Exactly.
There was an opportunity. It was squandered. You know what, you idiots? Get off the damn field.
The most beautiful 180 of all time.
Well, you got to realize when my hatred runs deep.
It's the top priority. No,
Yeah.
I get it.
Speaking of priorities, you start to wonder what Ryan Fitzpatrick's priorities are. He got his hip subluxation almost popped out, basically.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be out, what they say, 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. And now somebody called into a sports show, where he lives, and they were on there saying, oh, that's interesting because I saw Ryan Fitzpatrick and he brought his 7 kids with him to the water park. And they go there like a couple of times a week. He's got like all these kids. And he said, yeah, he was out there on the fast slide, and he got up off the fast slide and then he was kind of like, my hip. You could tell he was favoring, kind of hurt his hip. So the conspiracy theory right now is that Ryan Fitzpatrick had hurt his hip on this water slide with his many, many children and kind of kept it to himself. And when he got tackled in the game, said, oh, my hip. And then that's when they discovered the injury.
No, because if you saw the hit that he took, first off, Washington got the left tackle from the Chicago Bears, Charles Leno. Bears fans tried to warn us. Charles Leno is not any good. And he gave up that hit so easily. I mean, he got slammed to the ground. So I mean,
maybe he had hurt his hip, and that just made it worse.
I mean, maybe, but I'm telling you, the football hit probably had more to do with him hurting his hip than the slide did.
Well, I don't know. It was the fast slide, Keon. Have you ever been on the fast slide?
Well, it depends on which water park in that area we're talking about. But
do you know the area?
I mean, I used to live out
Well,
there.
hold on. Let me see here. The name of let's see, Symington's water park in Leesburg, Virginia.
Okay. Yeah, that I haven't lived in.
Then you
in
don't
Virginia,
know, then, do you?
in the
You don't
Virginia
know if
area.
you haven't been on the fast slide.
Okay, fair enough. But it's it's a fast slide versus being hit by an NFL defensive tackle, I'm going to go with the defensive tackle did more
I
damage.
don't know what he doesn't get about fast slide.
It's
I
fast
just
slide.
don't understand.
It's very quick.
Look,
I understand.
I mean, you start a little slow, but once you get that momentum going, and with a
Fast.
beard like Ryan Fitzpatrick has,
Right.
like, dear God, there's a lot of
There's
momentum,
some aerodynamics involved.
right?
Senior Wake and Bake says, happy football, gentlemen. My Niners are going to take care of the Eagles this week. How about say about yours? I think he's asking if we agree with him. We'll tell you here in a little bit when we do our picks. La Fioria Roja says, great guacamole clears your sinuses, you know. Oh, no, I like it spicy. I just don't like chunks of onion in there. Do you make your guacamole spicy or do you make it like gringo?
Not gringo. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Well, you're a white guy like you are.
Well, I don't. First of all, I'm of European descent, not white. Second of all, my wife's from Mexico. So
Okay, so this is legit.
It's legit.
All
yeah.
right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Your wife heard that. She's like, he's right, you know.
Oh, you're seeing a text now.
Yeah.
It's your fault. You started.
I get it from my wife and her family too. Mr. Pringle says, Randy, is it true that the Diamondbacks brass is looking to trade for the Orioles ground crew now?
No, probably. I mean, as bad as this team is, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Moist One says, well, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick probably has arthritis in that hip for making all them kids.
Could be.
Fubar 1000 says, hiya, Earth Blender dudes. You know, the Martians here play slow pitch softball, red field and everything. Damn it, this one dude just took a walk. Fubar 1000 has been trying to convince us he's up there on Mars. I don't think there's another radio show in the Valley where listeners are trying to convince us or anyone that they're on Mars.
I
But
appreciate the commitment to the bit, though.
Yeah, that's 24 hours worth. Yeah.
This is the Daily Blender where our listeners are out of this world. I hate myself.
I think we'll cancel the show now.
What have we done?
See, you just couldn't let it sit there, could you? You
No.
can't. You can't.
No, it's impossible for me. Yeah, no.
Nobody can.
Yeah,
Ralph
young
did
Padawan, you will grow. You'll learn.
Ralph did really well.
Cheese Skulls Burner says, I'm considering moving to another state for this Cardinals Vikings game, so I don't have to choose. And Mrs. Chief Skull, being the Red Sea maiden that she is, keeps me in good company at home, though.
That's funny.
Thundersnow says, if we huff Chipotle guacamole, will that cure COVID? Hell yeah. I mean, unless it's shoved in your nose, like that, yeah, then you're not working. You're not doing it right, man.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, so let's do this. When we come back, the NFL week 2 begins at 5 p.m. So we're going to do our picks for the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest. Now, you could probably still join in now at 1580fanatic.com. And if you are perfect and super good at your picks, you might even still win that $1,580 first prize or the $500 second prize. But I'm just saying there is still a chance. But if nothing else, you could win some fine weekly prizes. Last week it was a Miracle Mile $25 gift certificate. I don't know what it's going to be this week. So it's always still worth joining in. So let's do that when we come back. It's time for our picks. It's the yeah, I was holding the stick pretty hard, and Ralph even looked at me like, "You got that over there? You got that?" No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I don't. We're crashing. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Ian Eagle and Tony Baselli here from Westwood One with a preview of Thursday Night Football. Week 2 of the young NFL season begins with an NFC East matchup between the New York Giants and the Washington Football Team. Saquon Barkley returned to play in the opener from his knee injury in Week 2 last season. Now he'll try and lead the Giants in this big divisional matchup. Tony, neither of these squads can be very happy with their opening performances last week.
Both teams are coming off a loss and are hoping for a better performance after struggling to score points offensively. Daniel Jones was under constant pressure, and Ryan Fitzpatrick got knocked out early with a hip injury. We'll find out which offense can get it going and get their first win of the year.
Look forward to being with you, partner, for the Giants at Washington on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Oh, O'Reilly. Ready for an oil change? Visit the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to get everything you need. Right now, get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $28.95 and earn double O rewards points with your purchase. Protect your engine against sludge and wear with Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. On sale now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Really? What? No way. That's what visitors at International Bird Rescue say when they learn we rely on Dawn dish soap to clean wildlife, the same Dawn they use at home to wash dishes. Yep, wildlife rescue workers have been using Dawn for decades, helping save more than 125,000 birds, even these little ducklings. You see, Dawn suds loosen up the grease and rinse it from their delicate feathers. Taking grease out of wildlife's way is
so Dawn easy. Welcome to a place where everyone deserves to be better protected, where technology has your back, where you can have better protection and keep more money in your pocket, where you can have protection for your car, your home, your phone, and even your digital identity. Welcome to a place where your entire life can be better protected. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
If you're not spending every waking moment checking us out online, you better have a good excuse. Yeah. We've loaded up our website with the stories, pics, video, podcast, commentary, and more. The kind of stuff you love. Hey, it takes a lot of time to post all this junk. And you'll love every bit of it. Very well. Or at least most of it. It appears that the website has become alive. Hit it now.
It's on the internet.
1580thefanatic.com.
It's a daily blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Tonight, you got Giants versus Washington Football Club because, yeah, the NFL has a sense of humor. And what happens is they give you a great game week 1. Well, now we have Giants versus Washington week 2. But don't worry, we have better football on the way this Sunday. Sunday morning, we got Bengals and Bears. And Sunday night, we got Chiefs at Ravens. And then Monday Night Football is Lions at Packers. All right, well, some of it's good. It's one of those things where you look at Lions and Packers and you're thinking about doing a pick and you think you know, and then you have to take a moment with it, don't you? You don't know. Nobody knows. Well, let's find out what we do know. We know that Ralph had 9 right, which sounds really bad.
Yeah, it does.
But it was the best of all the hosts at the radio station. The person who had the most picks right, there was a bunch of people tied for first place with 11.
Oh, wow.
Which is not really great. That's how bad the upsets were last week. So Creepy Bush, he was our week 1 winner. And of course, with the host, Ralph was the week 1 winner. And you also killed it in fantasy football.
I did. 204 points.
Who did you destroy?
Mark Moss.
Yeah, that would be Nostramarcus. Yes.
Yeah.
And I lost to Rosalie. Had some dodgy decisions and advice, and then of course Keon, who has like the best team in the league.
So I've been told.
So I've been told. He had the worst score in the league.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I went out. I started all the guys that I drafted early, and there was a lot of people scoring 9 to 10 points, and then one Brandon Ayuk who scored goose egg.
See what's up with that? He's a rookie, right? Ayuk. Is he a rookie?
No, this is year 2 for Brandon Ayuk.
Okay. Yeah, he's an ASU guy. I know that.
Yeah, last year was his breakout season. And so a lot of people were high on him, and they threw the ball to him 0 times.
It might be different this week. So, we're not going to talk fantasy football just yet, but let's go ahead and do our NFL fan pick'em picks. And all right, well, Ralph from the Harmon Solar, since you were the master picker.
It
does sound a little dirty, doesn't it?
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Dirty master picker. I'm going to let you go first on this one because most of us have no idea what to think. Thursday night football tonight. It's the New York Football Giants versus the Washington Football whatevers.
Well, I want to be respectful to Keon.
Why?
I know it's his team. So, I kind of like him. I mean, so
no, that's fair.
It's fair. But anyway, so I was looking at some stats, and the one thing I saw was I was looking at Daniel Jones. And he is 4-0 against Washington and 4-19 against the rest of the league, which I thought was an interesting stat.
He doesn't handle that defense very well.
Yeah. So I'm, you know what? I just think the Giants. I mean, with Fitzpatrick being out, I think there's some upheaval there. I think they're looking for some stuff. I'm gonna pick the Giants. I think they win this game, and I think it's gonna be an ugly, bad game. But sorry, but I just
you're right.
So
no offense taken at all.
All right, Keon, it's your team. Let's hear from you.
Look, I'm gonna go Washington very, very tentatively. I feel like these two teams are the same team. Washington maybe has a slightly better offensive line. New York has a better quarterback in Daniel Jones, but I don't know how good I feel about him because he turns the ball over all the time. Yes, Ralph is right. The Daniel Jones seems to have Washington's number. I do think that this defensive line being fully healthy this year changes that to a degree. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to go Washington football team here in this game. And a lot of misery is about to happen tonight.
All right, Randy. So Keon has the Washington football team. Ralph has the New York football Giants. What do you think about tonight's game?
Well, I with Keon, I believe in the WTFs, and I think their defense is a defense that's trending upward and not downward. And I like Taylor Heineke. I like this kid. I don't know what his name is, but I like him. Give me the WTFs over the Gigantes.
All right. So for me, it's a very simple equation. Neither team has a quarterback. One team has a defense. I'm going with the Washington football team.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
That may be a mistake, but that's the best information I have. No faith in either quarterback. Period. I mean, if Fitzmagic was there, then it would be very easy to say the Washington football team. You know, not because they do that much better, but they would do somewhat better, I think. So that's where I am with that one. So let's move on to Sunday morning here on 1580 The Fanatic. The Bengals versus the Bears. Now, when you look at that, you think, yeah, I think I know who's going to win this. But then you look at their records. Wait, what? Bengals are 1-0 and the Bears are 0-1. What the hell is going on in the world, Ralph?
You know, I don't know. It was a weird week, right? I mean, you're right. You look at this and think, oh, the Bears. You know, you have to go Bears. But
yeah, the defense and Khalil Mack.
But their defense looked so bad last week, right? I mean, it
could have been a bad
game. Is it a one-game thing?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Is Justin Field going to get any playing time? Because he actually looked pretty good when he got in there and did a couple things. I'm really stumped on this game, but I got to tell you, I'm taking the Bengals.
All right.
Yep.
So,
taking the Bengals.
But you just told me why not to take the Bears.
Right.
Well, what's good about the Bengals?
Burrows.
All right.
I really like him.
We're going to go in the same order. Keon, what do you think about Sunday morning's game?
I'm going to go Bengals also. I not only like Joe Burrow, I like Jamar Chase. I thought he came out of the gate looking really, really good. This Bears secondary looked awful against the Rams. And I just think that you can attack that and beat that and push the Bears one step closer to having to play Justin Fields, which I would really like to see.
All right, Randy, what do you think? Bengals, Bears. They start with a B.
Yeah. Listen, the last I heard, the Red Rocket was still it's the Red Rocket, right?
Yeah.
He's still a starting quarterback for the Bears, and BU is still a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Bengals and 10 points.
Well, I got the Bengals too. Joe Burrow. It's not a good feeling because I know that the Bears are one good defensive play away from winning this game on Sunday morning. Outside of that, though, just on paper and the way I feel about it, I think Joe Burrow is going to continue to impress. And the Bears defense ain't what it used to be. All right, let's go down to Sunday night football. It's the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. Best game of the week, right, guys? Is there any game better than this?
Yes.
Shut up about the Seahawks. Is there any game better than this?
Yeah.
Any matchup better than this?
Potentially Buffalo and Miami are interesting because you got the AFC, East thing going on.
Interesting, but better. This is a great matchup. And the Seahawks versus the Titans.
No, I wasn't even going to go there. How about Dallas and the Chargers? That's a pretty good matchup.
It's kind of a weak matchup.
That's going to be a lot of points scored in that game.
Yeah. It's a fun game to watch.
We're going to get to that, but let's go ahead now and focus on Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. Randy, Baltimore didn't look completely horrible. It was just a couple of fumbles by Lamar Jackson, the pooper. And of course, Kansas City Chiefs looked pretty bad, though, in the first half of the last game. And then they came around like somebody waved some smelling salts and they're like, oh, yeah, football starting. and then they became the Chiefs again. So what do you make of this game on Sunday Night Football?
I think the first half for the Chiefs last week was a combination of dusting off some of the rust and also the Browns being all hyped up, and I think they got overhyped and ran out of juice in the second half, and Kansas City played their game. On the second hand, Lamar Jackson, old poopy pants, has no running. He's got no running back, so he's going to have to. Everybody knows he's going to have to be throwing the ball or running. I think it's going to be easy. I think this Kansas City defense is going to have a field day. Give me the Chiefs over the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, I got the Chiefs over the Ravens because Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. I feel myself picking the games with the Chiefs the same way I would pick with the Patriots of old. You just can't bet against them unless you got a reason why I can.
Right.
No, I'm asking you, Ralph.
You're asking me. So the funny thing, another quarterback stat, right? So Lamar Jackson's never beaten Mahomes.
Never?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So I go with the Chiefs here as well. I think they dominate this game.
All right. Well, are we all in unison on this there? You got another idea there, Keon?
No, we're all in unison on this. And aside from Lamar never for beating Mahomes, they always seem to play the Chiefs in Kansas City, which is really bad for Lamar. They just can't seem to win in that stadium. But not only that, they're missing Marcus Peters. I really saw that in the Raiders game. They're missing that guy that they can just throw on your best receiver and take Tyreek Hill away. They'd love to do that. They can't do that. Yeah. And what that means is a lot of zero blitzes from their defensive coordinator, Marnie Morningwig. He loves the blitzes, and it burned him in Las Vegas. And I don't think he can help himself. I think he's going to blitz too much here, and Mahomes and Tyreek Hill are going to burn him again.
Yeah, that Ravens defense used to be very feared. Not, I guess, not so much at the moment. All right, so then Monday Night Football, we have the shell-shocked, I don't know what I'm doing anymore, Aaron Rodgers hosting what's left of the Detroit Lions. Now, I mean, a lot of people are like, well, Goff did pretty good. No, he lost the damn game. He did what you do as a Detroit Lion. You play semi-okay, and then you lose the game. And listen, he's no Matthew Stafford, but he is, as they say, serviceable in that situation. So, Keon, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, both 0-1. You would normally say, well, Green Bay is going to stomp them. But after last week, can you say that?
I feel like I can say that. I think Green Bay is going to stomp them. And I'll give you a stat for that. Aaron Rodgers, when he has lost in the regular season by 20 or more points, the next game he throws 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This has happened 4 times in his career. That's just what happens. I'm pretty sure something like that's going to happen again because he's pissed off. He wants to show what he can do. They were not prepared week 1. I mean, it continues to happen. And when he gets beaten, he comes back and he blows up the next team he sees.
When he's able. Is he able is the question, Randy. Can Aaron Rodgers come back and be the Aaron Rodgers we know, or did he screw that up in the preseason by focusing on the wrong thing?
There's a new State Farm commercial out where he's on a stool and he's playing one of those 1960s musicians. He's got the hair thing going. He's real laid back and chilled. And Shailene Woodley has probably calmed him down quite a bit. She's much younger than he is, so he's probably really tired when he's on the field. Not only that, I like Dan Campbell. I like what he's trying to do in Detroit. Take the Bears. Take the Bears. No, take the Lions over the Green Bay Packers.
So Randy thinks that the Lions are going to bite the kneecaps off of Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that what's going to happen there, Rob?
Randy is tainted because of his very bad bet that he made.
I really feel that's the truth. Yeah.
It's kind of like why anyway. No, this is going to be ugly. This is a 10.5 point game right now. I think in the bookmakers, this is going to be a 21+ point victory. This is going to be just ugly for the Lions.
Yeah, I have to agree. I got Green Bay on this one. But it's odd to feel a little bit unsure about that after what we saw last week from the Green Bay Packers. So, all right, so let's look at some other good games before we go on to our own games. Now, Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones last week played each other, and Tua won that battle. The Dolphins beating the Patriots. Well, now they're playing other teams this week, and I was kind of excited at first because I thought, okay, good. Now we can finally see. Are these guys any good, or was that just two bads playing each other, making it look good? Well, Miami Dolphins are playing the Buffalo Bills. I'm like, well, there's a good contest. There's a good challenge. But then I see Mac Jones is playing the New York Jets. That's not fair. That's not a fair assessment, but
they're in the division, so they have to count.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Buffalo versus the Dolphins first, Ralph. Now, Miami has a win. Buffalo doesn't, and but I feel like Buffalo's not a bad team.
Right. I feel like Buffalo is one of those games last week that we just kind of went, what just happened, right? I mean, I think you're going to see a better Buffalo team this week. I think they're going to win this game. I really do. I think that they will go off a little bit and make up for how bad they looked last week, because they looked really bad last week. I don't think I saw it. So I think I'm going to take Buffalo.
All right, Keon, we got Buffalo or Miami?
I'm going to go Miami. I'm going to go Miami, and I flip-flopped on that a little bit.
You believe in Tua Tagovailoa?
I do. I think that he is a solid quarterback. I mean, he's more of a game manager type. He's not going to be one of these elite guys slinging it all over the field, but he's got a great defense behind him and a running game that is very, very good. And I think that Josh Allen's got a lot of pressure on him. They gave him the second highest contract in league history. He's got to prove that. And honestly, there's no running game in Buffalo. So if it doesn't come from Josh Allen, it's not happening.
All right. What's happening, Randy? Is it happening? Is it not happening? Is Tua going to do it, or is he going to not do it?
Yeah, see, I feel like Keon does in his case, but I've got to go back to what happened last year. Miami, although they played, pretty good. They had a couple of good wins down the stretch there, but the Bills were in the AFC Championship game. And I've got to believe that last week was a fluke, and it was just the rust being blown off because none of these starters really played significant time in the preseason. So give me the Bills to beat Miami, a close one.
Both teams leave that game at 500. I think you're right, Randy. I think the Bills will show up and be the Bills we think they are, and Miami will not be able to handle that. I'm not a Tua believer. I said that all season last year. I got nothing personal against him. I just don't think he's all as good as they have made him out to be. So I think he's going to run right up against the Bills, and that'll be that. All right, so when we come back, we'll talk about Mac Jones as he goes up against the formidable New York Jets. Sorry. I just, it's a lie too big. But we got the Cardinals, we got the Colts, we got the Seahawks. We have all those picks too. It's funny because Fed Fan says, you guys are picking the same teams as I have. I got to go reevaluate my choices. That's probably smart. It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona. Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene. You need to tune in to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canier, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
I'm Cisco Miranda, owner of Miranda Delivery Service. As a business owner, my job is to provide the best quality service for our customers. Affinity Technology helped us reinvent our business processes, using technology to make us more efficient. I didn't know I needed technology consulting, but my ROI has been off the charts. Affinity Technology has saved us more than 80 man-hours a week and has helped me get back to what I do best, focus on my customers. Visit atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com and see how better technology processes can help your small business.
When it comes to automotive repairs, where do you start? Been looking for a new home? Should you rent or buy? If you're looking for the latest trends in the automotive industry or real estate, look no further than the Drive Friendly Radio Show. Hosted by Steve, with over 40 years in the automotive industry, and Felicia, who's well established in the real estate market, you can get great advice and insight you can trust. You'll be smarter for listening, and maybe you'll have a little fun too. The Drive Friendly Radio Show, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Bruce and Dale here. Remember, football is starting soon, and your exclusive home for the NFL and Super Bowl 56, The Fanatic, wants to make your business a part of the act.
Advertise your business on all the primetime NFL games during the regular season.
Your custom-produced radio commercial will air 2, even 3 times in every game.
Plus, your business is branded during dozens of weekly NFL promos on the station, stream, app, and website.
And you'll get commercials read live during our morning and afternoon drive shows.
Plus, get 5 extra daily spots throughout the week and matching spots on our live stream website and on the 1580 The Fanatic Sports app.
You can even lock your competition out of this offer with our category exclusive option plan.
All this for our best deal ever.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com for all the info and details.
Don't get a delay of game penalty.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com and get in the game today.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. We got your Notre Dame Saturday morning, 11 a.m. is Notre Dame taking on Purdue for your listening enjoyment. Right now, here on the Daily Blender, we're right in the middle of doing our NFL fan pick'em picks with Ralph from Harmon Solar. Of course, it is the Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em, and they have put up the prizes. Well, not all the prizes. You know, Radio Ron is adding in some stuff too. You know, some beer. 30 pack of a beer in a couple of different places. I think he's given a 30 pack of beer to everybody who wins.
Wow.
Meaning a 30 pack of beer to the first place, along with the 1580. 30 pack of beer to second place for 500. And of course, the cash comes from Harmon Solar, but the beer comes from Radio Ron.
Are we talking like Coors Light or?
I don't know if he's getting some discounts. I don't know if he's going to allow us to choose the beer, but if you could get a 30 pack, what would you have?
I'm not a beer drinker.
Okay.
So I wouldn't get it.
Well, we can get root beer.
I would do root beer.
Yeah. I think root beer would be cheaper than actual beer. So then I think in that circumstance, you could say, Ron, I would like a 30 pack of root beer and a little half gallon of vanilla ice cream, please.
Oh, that sounds
Make
really
yourself some root beer floats.
Yeah, there you go.
Radio Ron
There
is
you go.
very he's very flexible on stuff like that.
Okay.
But we've got all sorts of weekly prizes and fun stuff that at the end of the season that we will start to hand out and dish out. Real fast, let's go to the text line before we get back into our picks. Let's say hi to some people here who've been patient. Senior Wake and Bake says, hell yeah, I got hurt at work. Oh yeah, let the NFL pay for it. Don't know what that's.
Don't know what that means.
I think it's referencing Ryan Fitzmagic, the water slide, the fast slide.
Yeah, pretending like he got hurt at work.
Hip subluxation.
You practiced that word. That was well done, Randy.
Thank you.
Fish Tank says Danny Dimes is 4-0 against Washington. I don't think it means I should pick the Giants or if he's due to finally lose one.
Good question.
Yeah.
I think he's due.
I think you should just pray about it because I don't want to talk to you anymore. Mars Bars 805 says, good afternoon, fellas. Happy Thursday. I found the new home for the Oakland A's. It's in Las Vegas. The MSG Sphere off the Strip and Flamingo. Viva Las Vegas and go Raiders. Please pour all of us an 805 and a tequila shot for my wife, please. We're celebrating Mexican Independence Day.
Really?
Viva Mexico, cabrones. Cabrones. Wait, today is Mexican Independence Day?
I didn't know that.
I believe it's the start of Mexican Hispanic Heritage Month.
No, it's actually Mexican Yom Kippur.
Is
That's
that
I think
is?
what it is.
Oh, I always get those mixed up.
Cheese Skulls Burner says I'd pick rooting for Washington, but New York, but I have to be real. They both suck. I'm gonna watch reruns of Bob Ross.
Oh boy.
It's a pretty little tree right there.
You'll be much more calm afterwards. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
We have a unnamed texter here says, hey bro, Rams win the Super Bowl. Book it. I have to say it like that when you put the word bro in. Hey bro, Rams win the Super Bowl. Book it.
Can we play the games first though?
I know who that is.
Yeah, you do?
I do.
Can we get a
do
quarter
they
of the
talk
season?
like that?
Sometimes.
Hey bro. Rams win the Super Bowl. Book it.
Can we play the games first though?
No, the guy with the 719 area code is insisting that we just book it.
Yeah, he's in Colorado.
Hey bro. Hey bro.
Okay. He's in Colorado.
That's my brother.
Then why wouldn't your brother
That's
be
your brother.
saying?
That's my brother.
He should be saying, "Hey, bro, Broncos in the Super Bowl, book it."
Well, he likes the Broncos, but we're from LA. He's a big LA.
Oh, I
fan
see.
growing
Yeah,
up, so.
I got you.
But I'm sure he appreciates the hey, bro.
Hey, bro. So that's probably hey, bro, as in brother.
Probably
not hey, bro,
as in broski.
dude.
Broham.
Dude.
Oh, gosh.
Miss Pringle says, Randy, you're off your nut picking the Lions over the Green Bowl Packers.
Thank you.
LL Cool Bean says, wait, he can't give away a sack of potatoes like the old Power 92 did back in the day. He surely could if he wanted.
Sack of potatoes.
LL Cool Beans is like a Phoenix radio historian. Big George has that same gene as well. So he'll have these abstract stories from the past. Moist One says, Radio Ron is very flexible. No wonder he was recruited to Michigan State.
What?
It's not even mean.
Oh.
The fifth letter says over or under on tonight's game, 40.5.
Ooh.
Under.
It feels like an under.
Yeah,
like
I'm going
like a lot of turnovers, but no one's actually scoring.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of those.
A lot of turnovers.
The over under on turnovers.
These games
take the over.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games we're playing it between the 20s.
That is so sad, actually, isn't it?
Wow.
Well,
I've watched these two teams play for the last 25 years of my life. It's been this.
Just Tip is saying Saquon makes the difference, so the Giants will beat WTF. Well, but Saquon's not playing, is he? Is he playing?
Yeah, he
I
played,
thought I
he
heard
played
he
last
wasn't.
week. He played last week, and you know what? Him and Ezekiel Elliott combined for 10 points. In fantasy.
Combined.
How
In
about
fantasy.
that stat right there?
So if you just want to know, because here's the thing, Saquon Barkley is an incredible running back, but I don't
Is he?
care about your yards after contact if they contact you 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You're not going anywhere.
Well, what's somebody better go read the current news on that, because I heard some negative information about Saquon earlier. We may want to make that clear. Number one Rattler fan says, good afternoon. Getting my swim on. Washington team total over 24.5 plus 145. Book it. Okay.
What?
Hey, Ralph. Yeah. You got to lean your thing down. We can't have the screen up there. Floppy Bumper says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Just coming back into town after 2 weeks in Baghdad at the mine. Okay, when he says that, it's Baghdad, Arizona. I don't think it's Baghdad, Iraq. But he says, great to hear your voices. Hey, Randy, how about a nice lukewarm Guinness for your favorite nomad geologist, please?
There you go, my friend.
Well
Enjoy.
done. Good to hear from you there, Floppy Bumper. Welcome back. Moist One says, that was a thinly veiled Larry Nassar joke. Okay? Come on, guys. Well,
okay.
Well, now we got it. We all feel dirty.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
should have probably kept that to yourself. All right, we ready to keep going with our picks? Here we go.
By the way,
Mhm.
Saquon Barkley is questionable
Ah,
for tonight's game.
like Moist One's sexuality. Questionable. You think that's an insult, but he's going to be the first one to say, no, that's true. That's true. All right. So when we last were talking about Tua, Miami versus Buffalo. And well, now let's talk about Mac Jones. Now, this is going to probably be a very fast segment. New England versus the New York Jets. Ralph, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it quick. New England.
New England.
New England. I'm excited to see what Zach Wilson's gonna do, but I mean he's not
I'm
gonna win.
underwhelmed to see what he'll do against the Jets. Randy?
Complete dismantling of the Jets. They'll leave the parts on the field and walk off.
Book it, bro. Okay. By the way, your brother has he says, yeah, I'm Ralph's brother. And he says he wants his nickname to be Rams Baby.
Should be Book It, bro.
Book it, bro. Actually, I agree. Hey, if Rams Baby agrees, we'll call him Book It, bro.
I think that's what he said.
And I know he probably doesn't sound like that, but forever in my head, he does. All right. Let us know, Book It, bro. Let's talk about my game next. Better games to follow, so that's what I'm doing mine first. We got half a good matchup. The Los Angeles Rams with Matthew Stafford going into Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis to slap the living daylights out of my Indianapolis Colts. Now, the only thing I can see here is the Rams, they do have a little trouble against the run. And I feel like Jonathan Taylor could step up and maybe get some work done, but outside of that, I'm not feeling very confident about my Colts. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Rams in this contest. Keon, you have a reason I should change my mind and pick the Colts?
I mean, I'm not picking them, but if there was a reason to change your mind and pick the Colts, it would be that the Colts have a very good defense. And like you said, Jonathan Taylor is a fantastic running back behind a great offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That's always key. And you could play a time of possession game where like you just keep the ball away and keep Matthew Stafford off the field, and you could win the game that way. Because I just don't know how much you're getting out of Carson Wentz.
I know. Randy, Colts or Rams?
Boy, I got to tell you, I went back and forth, Jeffco. I went back and forth, and here's why. Like Keon said, you've got a very good defense. You've got a very good offensive line, which can stop that Rams defense, or at least hold them at bay while Carson Wentz makes some adjustments. And you've got a running game, and the Rams are not necessarily a upper echelon team when it comes to the running game. But alas, I had to go with the Rams. It was a close one, but I had to go with the Rams. I wanted to pick the Horseshoes again.
I know. I think I heard you the other day saying you were going to pick them, but
back and forth.
Hey, listen, I understand. And of course, now here comes Ralph to crap all over my Colts and say horrible, mean things. Go ahead,
So
Ralph.
I'm not gonna. It's hard to crap all over a bad team, right?
That's
I know you're already in pain.
really rude.
Well, you're already in pain. I don't want to make it worse. Randy didn't have trouble figuring this out. He's lying. He knew right away that the Cardinals were going to lose this game. He wanted you to feel good, but I don't.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, the Rams, I think by the second quarter, Wentz is probably wearing Donald's jersey. He's going to get hit so much by him. This game is going to be ugly. The Colts do have a really good defense that Seattle made look really mediocre last week because Seattle's offense is that good. But I think the Rams win this game big.
Book It Bro says Rams are going to slap the Seahawks. Rams by 20.
Okay.
But
This
they're
is
not
why
playing the Seahawks.
I can't wait for that game. I'm going to be rooting the Rams on.
And this is why me and my brother only talk maybe once every 2 months.
I'm on Book It Bro's side, man.
Now you like them.
Yeah, now I'm all about it. Sure. All right, let's talk about the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons. The Tennessee Titans are going into rainy, soggy bottom field, and they're going to have a game there. Now, I don't want to do mine yet. You go ahead. You go first, Keon.
I'm gonna go Seahawks in this one. I think the Titans will bounce back from what they did a week ago. I mean, it couldn't get much worse than just how they got slapped around by the Cards. I think they'll play better, but I don't think it's going to be enough. That secondary, which they've reconstructed with a bunch of young guys that are talented, but they hope that those guys would be ready to play. They're not ready to play. And if Kyler Murray is going to tear apart that secondary the way that he did, then I don't even want to know what Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf and Russell Wilson are going to do to him. It could get ugly, but it's going to get ugly in the second quarter.
There were plays during the Colts Seahawks game where I was just like, I had to appreciate it. I was just like, oh my God. Some of those throws and catches were just, classic Russell Wilson, but just, oh my God, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, how hard is it to keep that under control? But I know Randy doesn't like to compliment the Seahawks any more than I do. But you're going to have to make a pick, my friend.
Well, listen, the Tennessee Titans, in my opinion, have fallen from the status that they were these past couple of seasons. Derrick Henry was easily handled. I think the Sea Chickens watch that videotape. I think they'll have no problem handling the Titans. And I think the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons.
Yes, Rainy City Bitch
which
Pigeons.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Rainy City Bitch Pigeons will win this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got the Seahawks too for all the above reasons.
Yeah.
I guess we should move on. We don't need Ralph's
wanted
pick.
to pick the Titans, believe me.
All right. Well, nobody cares about the Tennessee Titans, so go ahead, Ralph. Do your worst.
Well, I'm not going to do my worst, but I was excited to see that offense last week. I told you I've been looking forward to it. It's very different if you've looked at it over in the past to what it was last week. They're doing things a lot differently. They're doing a lot more slashing across the field. Chris Carson, to me, is the X factor because he just looks like a beast. And they haven't had a guy like that back there since Marshawn Lynch. And I think he is the next coming of Marshawn Lynch. He is just that strong, and he's that kind of runner. So I was excited to see that. Russell Wilson's on a mission this year, and I think you're going to see him at his best this entire
I didn't know he
season.
was Mormon.
Yeah, he is. So you're going to see him on a mission this year. And I think Tennessee, to Keon's point, that's a lot of new play. I think that's 6 new starters in that defense this year.
Yeah,
That
got
is-
some rookies, some guys
Right.
that were injured last year that are back. Yeah, it's rough.
And then you can see it. And I think they're better than what they played last week. I just think, like you said, they're going to need some time. And they'll get better progressively probably every week. And they're going to get beat this week. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but they made the Cardinals, in my opinion, look better than they are. The Cardinals are a mediocre offense at best. And they looked fantastic last week. So I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Gosh, the hate just keeps flowing.
Sometimes hate is just honesty. It's just what it is.
No, I don't think everybody's going to agree with you on that last comment on whether that was hate or proper analysis. But listen, we have one more game left to pick. So let's do that when we come back. It's just, you know the game. It's the Minnesota Vikings. We have a lot of Skol fans out there. And, of course, your Arizona Cardinals. So we'll get our pick on that before we move on to fantasy football stuff. In the next hour, Siege will be with us to answer all your fantasy football questions at 4:18. So have your questions ready and get ready to text those in. Even if you, just have it like ready where you type it. Don't send it right away because that's a little annoying. But have it ready and get those questions answered because hey, if you lost last week, you need to win this week. If you won last week, screw you because I lost. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If you're considering refinancing or getting a home loan, listen up. This is Dale Hellestray, and when you need a mortgage, the team I use is led by my good friend, Jeff Locks. And here's why. Jeff and his team negotiate with over 50 lenders to find the best possible deal. Your home has gone way up in value over the past year, so why not utilize your home equity to reduce your monthly expenses or even pay off some debts? Interest rates are still at all-time lows, and if you obtained your current mortgage prior to 2020, you can save a lot of money. Here's the best part. There's absolutely no lender fees. Jeff is truly Arizona's low-cost lender with over 30 years of experience. So call Jeff Locks, and if Jeff can't save you money, you'll get a free $50 Amazon gift card. This is a winning play, so call Jeff today, 480-202-0692. That's 480-202-0692.
Jeff Locks, NMLS number 1003782, National Mortgage License number 181106, Bear Financial Group, AZMB-09047774, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up on Friday at 1 p.m., Washington and Giants kick off Week 2 Thursday night. Let's see how the Giants offense looks and Washington's defense. We'll look forward to the weekend's college games and NFL Week 2 to give you our predictions. Does Ohtani lose the MVP if he doesn't pitch the rest of the year? Let's discuss. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the Main Event, Friday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
You might not know it, but your small business IT systems can leave you and your customers vulnerable. At Affinity Technology, we provide peace of mind by ensuring your computer systems are working and are safe from hackers and outside threats. We solve technology problems for small business. No confusing tech talk or black box setups. If it plugs in, we work with it. Contact us today at atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com. Affinity Technology.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
People settle down because it's time for what?
Showtime. When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside my heterosexual life partner, Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, Ralph from Harmon Solar hanging out, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar studios in Scottsdale. Now, we got most of the way through our NFL fan pick'em picks, courtesy of Harmon Solar, before the top of the hour, but I didn't want to rush through this last pick. This pick is the pick that everybody waits for week in, week out during the NFL season. And you know it, you love it. You can't live without it. It's Randy and his epic Cardinals pick. But first, before he does his, I guess we will all pontificate ourselves on what will happen between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings this weekend.
Enjoy pontificating myself.
I'm going to let the hater go first because I want to have some distance between the hate, the analysis, and the Randy. So I balance these things out a little bit. So, all right, hater Ralph, go ahead.
I thought you were talking about Keon.
No, of course. You are the biggest Cardinal hater that we've ever known.
I don't hate the Cardinals.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, he's new here, so he can't make any enemies right now.
So I just spent 3 weeks in Minnesota, and I got to tell you, there is not a whole lot of fanfare going on for the Vikings up there. I think they're a pretty bad team. I think this is the Cardinals' easy path to 2-0. So with all the hate that I have, I just don't see the Cardinals losing this game.
What?
If they do lose, if they lose this game, I will have words for Randy next week.
What?
But I don't see how they lose this game. I mean, the Cardinals are, even though I do think they have a mediocre offense and a mediocre defense.
You just got to throw that in there.
Mediocre defense. You got to give them credit for what they did last week.
I do give them credit for last week, but it's one game. And I think the Vikings are that bad, and they're going to look that bad this week as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Cardinals too. And I think you're right. I think that the moment that somebody reports Kirk Cousins has a U-Haul in front of his house, suddenly that fan base is going to get energized and be back. But that said, there are still a lot of rabid Skull fans listening to this show.
Yeah.
And they are always, picking their team and faithful to their team. And I think this is going to be a fun game. But I feel like Arizona will continue on a roll. No, they probably won't have the same defensive output as last week. They might not even have the same offensive output as last week. But guess what? It's the Vikings. You won't need it. Keon?
I'm going to go Cardinals too. I don't like the Vikings secondary.
You guys are killing me here.
I don't like anything about the Vikings secondary. And I mean, actually, word on the street is that Mike Zimmer doesn't either. Him and Rick Spielman, the general manager, not on the same page. Patrick Peterson, Zimmer didn't want him. So this is just a disaster of a team off the field. And then on the field, they got okay things going for them offensively. Dalvin Cook is great. Kirk Cousins is solid, but that you can't play.
You mean like a solid poo, right? Like, because there's runny poo. And then there's a solid poo.
You can never hard BMs. Is
right.
That Jane?
Yeah.
You can,
maybe even chalky.
Kirk Cousins is like I believe you told me Carson Palmer was like this, where you just look at the stats and you know he's okay.
Right.
But when you watch the game, there was nothing there. That's every time I watch Kirk Cousins, that's what it is. You never have a bad Kirk Cousins performance, but it's not good. There's nothing that's helping you. So yeah, I can't pick the Vikings in the state that they're in right now. I'm going to go Cardinals.
All right. Well, now here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. Randy White, as he picks his pick with the Minnesota Vikings coming to visit the Arizona Cardinals at State Farm Stadium.
As in the days of old, Norsemen will travel from the north to try to conquer and take over land that does not belong to them. The great desert lands of the Southwest. Alas, like the sickle that sweeps through the wheat ready for harvest, there will be a cutting and a slashing that will happen. The Cardinals with Chandler Jones and his 5 sacks from last week. And also Kyler Murray and his prolific offensive stalwart will stop the Norsemen. And they will cut them down with the sharp sickle of the Red Sea. This will forever be known as the Harvest Silver Nest.
It broke up there a little bit, but I think he said it was the harvest at the
Harvest.
Silver Nest.
Harvest Silver Nest.
Yes, that's
you got it right. Yep.
a lot of. I think that you may have broken the record for time sickle was ever said on this show.
Listen, you got to use the right verbiage in communicating, Jeffrey. You remember that back in radio DJ school?
Mhm.
We were in the same class. You got to use the right words to communicate what you're trying to portray.
No, I am being told that is not true. That is not the record for use of the word sickle. We talked about somebody having sickle cell anemia, so I guess that's
that would do
different
it.
than that.
That would
So
do it, yeah.
sorry, Randy, you don't get the record. I
And
apologize.
The thrashing that the Cardinals will give the purple and gold will be monumental. Never before seen on public television.
Let's go to the text line. People have things to say. Rough Rob says Kirk Cousins just looks soulless. No way they can win. He doesn't look soulless. What it is an absence of intelligence. He's kind of a bimbo. I mean, he's good at football.
He's a himbo.
He can find his way to the shower and comb his hair, and he gets out of it. He finds maybe he uses a GPS, but he finds himself at the stadium. It just whenever you hear him talk, I keep thinking to myself, there's an echo in that room. There's just not a lot going on in there. Fubar 1000 says Captain Kurt has more completions to the Cards than Kyler Murray has, meaning he throws a lot of interceptions. Guano says, I think Kyler Murray and the Cards will come up short this weekend. Get it? Short.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. There's your short whistle. There you go.
The Jet says, damn it, I've been driving for 10 minutes. It turned out I was on the wrong station. What did I miss? Seriously?
All of the picks.
Wow.
You missed all of the picks, every single one.
Here's what I would suggest, Jet. We posted up the first hour on the podcast.
We have. It's up.
Go listen to the first hour on the podcast, then catch up with this hour when that goes up so you don't miss anything. Charlie Boy says, hey guys, Ralph, you relive that you're in Arizona.
You realize you mean?
No, that's it. Hey, Ralph, you realize you're in Arizona, not settle, right?
Every day I realize it. Every dang day.
Just saying, go Cards.
I'm sure no one's told him before. No one's ever pointed it out.
I didn't relive it. I just didn't relive it. I mean, if you have to, someday I'd like to go to settle.
I just want to settle.
Moy, well, your wife did. Hello.
Here comes another text.
That was straight fire, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Moist one says, would love those Angry Birds to lose after all this hype after 1 week, but I think the Vikings are going to get skull. I don't know if I should read the second part of that. I don't know if that's an appropriate use of the word fudge. Yeah, he says, well, I had to keep it PG-13. I'm in a school pickup line. What's really wrong with that is he has no kids. Wish you'd stop telling me things. Chief Skulls Burner says that I am now on my way to Scottsdale to remove Ralph's microphone. Well, good luck. Good luck trying. He says I would pick rooting for Washington or New York, but I got to be real. They both suck. I'm going to go watch reruns of Bob Ross. Why would you text that twice? Yeah, he texted it twice. Stop texting me things twice.
Yeah.
He says I'm moving out of state after those picks. I'm moving down the dial. Oh, okay. Well, there's some very nice boring shows you can enjoy.
Farewell. We'll be here when you come
Bye.
back.
Papa Mike says, all right, Randy, I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. I'm so ready to go to the game. I'm going to leave right now.
I think you should.
He should. He's got good seats. Navy Devil says Kirk Cousins knows his way to the bank. That's about it right there. Yeah. It takes all those Minnesota dollar bills.
Hey, look, you got to be a legend somewhere. You can be a legend on the field or you can be a legend at the bank. Kirk Cousins made his choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just baffling for how dumb a guy he is. Bruno Baller says, well, I can see his confusion why he might have thought he was listening to the blender and then got confused. I mean, Jeffrey sounds a lot like that gumbo guy at the other station. Yes, I know.
Boy.
It's crazy how much I sound just like him.
Exactly like him. Wow.
Uncanny. Just a Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Ralph, I am offering you a bet. I think Kyler's stats against Tennessee last week will be better than Russ Wilson's this week. and that the Cardinals also have a better winning score differential than the Sea Loons. Loser donates $100 to Arizona Sports Angels. If the bet is split, we both donate $50 to Arizona Sports Angels. Are you in?
What were his stats last week?
I don't have the stats in front of me right now. Keon, you want to bring those up?
Yeah,
Why? I
Kyler
don't
had
understand why you even need to know that.
I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
Kyler had 1,000,000 yards passing, 400 touchdowns, no
And-
interceptions.
Keep in mind, they were at home. You're at home this week. You have a better chance of winning that bet.
Oh, I have no problem with the bet. I'm just curious what his stats are. But I'll take that bet because the money goes to the right place.
There you go,
So,
Joseph
of course.
Tips. It looks like you've got a deal. Here is Keon to give you those stats.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, 21 of 32, 65% completion, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Oh, we'll beat that. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it'll be 2
I thought he had a
interceptions
good-
at
I thought
least.
he had a good game.
5 rushes for 20 yards and a touchdown on the
I mean,
ground.
come on, have a good game at least.
But Russ isn't very mobile. I don't know if he can get those 20 yards.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not going to need him the way he throws the ball. At least
Hey,
he can see over his line.
What were oh, I don't want to ask that because that was the Colts. I was about to ask. Although that was against a better defense, so you should do better.
Yeah, I agree.
Did he have any rushing yards last week, Russ Wilson?
Probably 15 or 12.
I think he
didn't-
needed
didn't
it.
really need to
Yeah.
run. No one was getting.
Oh, that's so.
You know what? Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Because I'm really disturbed now after listening to Randy's rant.
Thank you.
Which was really nice, by the way. But
Thank
now
you.
I'm afraid we're going to see a bunch of old Russian communist flags over at the
Sickles.
stadium. Right.
Everywhere.
I have fear
What are you
of
talking
seeing
about?
this now because
Yeah,
the
no,
sickle,
the Red Sea.
right? The
I
Red
got-
Sea
I
is
got
going to be
in
really
there.
the Red Sea.
The Red
Right?
Sea
I think you
is
just
going,
blew it.
going to be the damn the Red Sea is going to cut right through the purple people eaters. They're just going to cut them in half and leave them all over the place.
I come stadium for the toilet paper. It's good in bathroom. Ticket worth price. They don't check you on the way out. They only check you on the way in.
So 9 rushing yards for Russell Wilson last week. No rushing touchdowns, but no interceptions either. But Russell Wilson was 18 and 23, 78%, 254 yards,
Ooh. Passer
4
rating?
touchdowns.
155 passer rating, something like that.
Yeah, 152.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Have a game, Russ Wilson. What the hell's the matter with you?
Kyle G says Peterson returns with his perfect match of a team, overvalued and underwhelming. Minnie's wintry soldiers will melt in the desert. Cardinals win big and easy.
Nice. Nice. I
Hey,
like
Kyle
that. I wish I
G.
would have thought of that, Kyle G. Thank you very much. I'll keep that right here in the old noggin.
Good Cat says, "Sup, guys?
What's up?
Sup?
So
All right, let me give you some information on some of your players that may or may not be relevant. This first one, not relevant. Marcus Mariota is going to be out for a couple of weeks. I didn't even know he got hurt. I watched the game. I might have been out on the grill. So what happened to him? Did you notice?
I
knew
didn't
he
even
was
know
in
he was
for-
still playing.
He did a Taysom Hill play. I don't know what happened. He ran for 31 yards on one snap, but they're saying that his quadriceps. Where's that? Point at quadriceps. Where's your quads?
Your thigh.
Oh, down here, not up here.
Thigh,
Okay,
yeah.
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So the one thing he was supposed to do, and he aggravates his quadriceps doing it.
Yeah, I mean, he actually had a quad injury in the preseason, and it was supposed to be getting better. They bring him in for that one play, and then he re-injured it on that play.
No.
Yeah. I don't know how long it'll be before he's back, but now Nathan Peterman is going to be the number 2 quarterback for Derek Carr. So
Is that Mr. Peterman from the
Yes.
Seinfeld show?
No, it's Jay Peterman's son,
Ah, okay.
and they talk
wondering.
exactly the same.
I bet.
So Lamar Jackson came out and they were talking about this game. And every time the Chiefs play the Ravens, it's basically Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. And he came out and said, it's not about me and Patrick Mahomes. Well, there you go. There's a complete and absolute delusion about what this is really about. It's always about Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes.
He's not supposed to say that, though. He's supposed to say it's about the team. It's about our defense. It's about our receivers and their defense. He's supposed to be a team guy. If he says it's about me and Patrick, that's so arrogant and cocky. He said the right thing there. He said what he was supposed to say anyway.
Yeah, I think that he was right the first time saying the Chiefs are their kryptonite. And, he's like, well, they beat us 3 times or whatever, but that's in the past. It's also going to be in the future. It's going to be in the
Well,
future.
he can't think that way.
Yeah, well, we all are. We all are. So Sean Murphy Bunting, they are not sure completely yet if he's going to be out for the season with that injury that he got. Did his arm was it a break or what was that? It was a
I thought it was a
dislocated elbow.
dislocation. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked nasty. I don't know if you saw that game or not, but that is a nagging kind of injury. But we're still waiting to hear the outcome on that. Is there any news on that with him?
No, I just checked it. No new news. They're still waiting to see if he's going to be in or out for the season.
Can somebody tell me the hell's wrong with Odell Beckham Jr.? Why he's not playing?
Well, he makes a lot of money, and he hurt his knee, and he had reconstructive surgery.
I thought it was healed by now. It was ACL.
Oh no, it's healed when he's damn good and ready that it's healed. Yeah,
I think
that's
we've
when it's
gotten
healed.
used to some of these freakish comebacks with the ACL.
Yeah.
It's still a torn ligament in your knee, and if you
Yeah.
come back too early, you will ruin it. So he should take his time.
Well, he was a game time decision last week, but now they've already said, nope, he ain't playing this week. So I'm kind of curious, isn't that backwards? You just think they would have ruled him out
Unless there
last
was
week.
a setback, and I hope that that's not the case.
You got him in fantasy football, don't you?
I don't.
No.
Actually.
Outside of that, why do you care? Who's got him in our league?
Just I don't like people being injured.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
So I learned something the other day. Did you know Deshaun Watson has a girlfriend?
What?
You know what? I never thought about it.
I know. Yeah, evidently he has a girlfriend. This gal named Jilly Aeneas, of course, model. And, I guess there was this Instagram thing where she says happy birthday to Deshaun Watson. And there's a picture of him grabbing a big old handful of her booty there. And I'm like, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. And she's all like, a happy birthday, love bug, walking hand in hand with you. 4L emoji. I don't know what any of these damn things mean.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, how long have they been together? Before? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's exactly where you
she
have to
show
go.
up? And all I can think is, at any point, if you're in a new relationship and you find out allegations of sexual misconduct with massage therapists, you'd be like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna let you sort this out and we'll talk later. If you were in the relationship before, that means he cheated on you. And so all I can think is,
and he didn't just cheat on you with people who were consenting. He cheated on you with people
Right.
who were not consenting.
not so much.
Well-
Not so much.
Well, hey, listen, there's extenuating circumstances here. She's in a relationship with a guy who plays football and she's got over 150 million reasons why. She's
Ding,
just
ding,
staying
ding,
with
ding,
him.
ding, ding,
That's
ding,
it.
ding.
I'm
That's
just-
exactly
what's that?
it.
You got these. Oh, I believe everything that comes out of your drippy mouth there, Deshaun. Absolutely. We're good. No, we're good. We're
You're
good.
so funny, love bug. You're
Can I
so
have a
funny.
New diamond ring and a Lamborghini.
Ding,
Thanks.
ding, 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 ding. So, yeah, I would imagine Rusty Harden has already handed her a card saying, I got you. Don't worry about it. We got you.
She should probably lay low on the I love yous at the moment, though.
Yeah.
The public social
Love
media.
bug.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, love bug.
There's roughly 40 women who've accused him.
I think
don't want to hear that.
she may be the only woman that Kirk Cousins could play Scrabble with.
Oh, boy.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One with a Thursday night football preview with an NFC East matchup between the New York Giants and the Washington football team. Both might want to forget about last week and restart the new season. Daniel Jones and the Giants are coming off a 14-point loss to the Broncos. Jones said after the game, there's plenty of room for improvements.
We certainly expect to score more points and expect to convert those opportunities in the red zone. But, as a group, we're not going to get, emotional about it or get too discouraged or down, but look at actually what happened and what we can correct, in certain situations.
Washington will see Taylor Heineke start at quarterback, replacing the injured Ryan Fitzpatrick. Join us for NFC East action in primetime. Ian Eagle and Tony Baselli will have the call on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
O'Reilly. It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts, where you can earn double, triple, even up to 5 times O Rewards points on select purchases. Get bonus points on more than 200 items throughout the store, like wiper blades, fuel system cleaners, motor oil, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When you join Saia LTL Freight, you belong to something bigger from day one. Whether you live for the long haul, the city route, or working the docks, we have a job for you. Join the most elite team in the business, best-in-class benefits, signing bonuses, and a first-rate commitment to safety. To start your journey with us, go to workatsaia.com. That's workatsaia.com.
You will solve the great mystery.
Streaming only on Peacock.
This is Robert Langdon. The suspect called him.
I teach symbology. He wants me to locate an ancient portal buried within the Capitol.
From the author of the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons.
It's your dad. People who took it want me to find a piece of a very old puzzle.
And executive producers Ron Howard and Brian Grazer.
We have to finish this or my dad is dead.
Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol. Streaming now with new episodes every Thursday. Only on Peacock.
It's time again for the Harman Solar 1580, the Fanatic NFL Pick'em Contest. Send your picks each week to see if you are this year's cascade picker. Sign up at 1580thefanatic.com. Play against the Fanatic Air Staff and all the listeners. You can score the grand prize of $1,580 or the second place prize of $500. Provided by our friends at Harman Solar. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com. The Harman Solar 1580, the Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Exclusively from your home for the NFL and Super Bowl 56 in Arizona.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. All right, here's the rundown. Thursday night football, Giants versus the Washington football team. Just keep telling yourself, at least it's football. Then on Sunday morning, we got Bengals and Bears. Sunday night football, we got Chiefs versus the Ravens. And Monday night football, Lions at Packers. All of that right here on 1580 The Fanatic. So only one person out of 4 in the the crew right now has a win in fantasy football.
Who's that?
Yeah, you know it's you bastard. And well, we got to change that. So with us right now, hopefully to give us some good advice and also give you guys some advice. 888-368-1580. Get your fantasy football questions in. It's the Siege. That's right. CJ's with us. How you doing this week, Siege? Have you recovered from your Vegas draft?
I took Trey Sermon and Odell Beckham at the 6-7 turn, so it was a rough week 1 for me.
Ouch. So what is the status of Odell? We were trying to figure that out when we might actually see Odell Beckham Jr. on the field again.
I'm going to assume week 3. I think they sat him week 1, knowing the Texans were week 2. They can beat the Texans without him and just give him a couple more weeks. I think if they actually had a better opponent this week, he probably would have played week 1. So I'm not panicking yet.
All right. Okay. He's not doing you any good on a bench, so I'm sure that you've got insurance. But listen, it's not about. By the way, let me just ask you a question real fast. Did you win your first week's fantasy football game?
It's about 500 across everything. Nothing special, nothing terrible.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And how many leagues are you in, by the way?
20 is what I ended up with.
Isn't there just like one that you really care about, or is it you care a lot about all of them?
I care about like my 3 main events. I care about those. I think I went 0-3 in those, but very high scores, which is it. So playoff positioning is really determined by points, and the point totals were sky high. So it was a fine week, but obviously would have loved to get the win, but didn't.
All right. In our fantasy football leagues, the playoff position is determined by wins, and your playoff position is determined by points and wins. You know, a combination of those two things. In the standings, where you will be is either by wins or by points. So it's a combo deal. But anyway, I'm going to need some help this week for sure. But let's get to the text line and let people start off. We already got questions. Fubar for 1000 says Robbie Anderson, CJ, or Jarvis Landry at wide receiver.
Let's go with Robbie Anderson this week. Tougher matchup against the Saints. They'll probably have to throw the ball a little bit more. Browns get the Texans, should be able to run the ball and do a lot of fine. So let's go ahead with Robbie Anderson.
All right. Just the Tip says, hey, as my flex, DJ Moore or Russell Gage?
DJ Moore. DJ Moore is pretty close to stud category. It would take a really tough matchup for me to ever not play him.
All right. Before we go any further, you guys have any fantasy football questions for Siege?
I have one.
Okay. Mr. You say he drafted the best team in the league. Keon has a question.
Yeah, well, I also lost in week 1, Siege. And part of it was Brandon Ayuk, no targets, no points. I just posted a 0. Should I be afraid of Brandon Ayuk? Should I be afraid to start him in week 2?
I don't think he's startable in week 2. I think you got to just put him on your bench and just kind of see what happens. I'm sure you have a better option than Brandon Ayuk. I think he'll be fine.
I had
but
several.
There's no way I would risk another 0.
I had several better options. None of them played.
I feel like when you've got a wide receiver and no clear-cut quarterback, it's risky. And when you got quarterback by committee, it could go either way. It could go. I mean, it just like kind of like what happened with Jameis Winston, in the Saints, a guy who you wouldn't really expect to have a big game. Suddenly there he is getting like 15 points. So, hey, Randy, you have any fantasy football questions for Siege?
No, I was just perusing this thing. I got running back troubles. The only thing I could ask Siege is there anybody out there that you would recommend if I could pick up off of waivers, or maybe somebody that I should look at adding in? I picked up Sony Michel in my draft, and I'm seeing that that's a enormous mistake right now. He got 0.2 points last week.
Wouldn't panic on Michelle, still learning the playbook. If Devontae Booker's out there, I know that game starts very shortly. I would go grab him. Saquon Barkley is going to be on a snap count tonight. And on that wet field, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw – if you guys remember last year when Cliff Kingsbury played Kenyon Drake for like one play and then we didn't see him the rest of the game, I could see that happening with Saquon on that field. So if you are in an emergency situation at running back, I'd take a crack at Booker.
Thank you.
All right. How about you, Ralph? I know you're all cocky because you won a game, but
no, I mean, I have a question. Will Fuller's coming off a suspension this week. What's your opinion about him?
I think you got to wait and see what his usage is. You know, they have a lot of weapons. Gesicki didn't really play as many snaps as I expected. I think you just got to kind of let that one play out. If you have even options that are similar to him or even a little bit worse, I would go ahead and just let's see what they do first before I start throwing them in.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to the text line. Big George says, hey, Siege, question. Would you start A.J. Dillon, Gerald Everett, or Will Fuller in flex position in a standard scoring league?
See, I think that's about the line where I would take a chance on Will Fuller. It's probably pretty close but between him and Everett, but I would go ahead and start Fuller in that situation. But probably really depends on the rest of your team. Are you a favorite? Are you an underdog? Do you have a lot of safety? If you have a lot of safety, I would risk Fuller. If you're a big underdog, I would risk Fuller. If you're kind of a big favorite, I might go ahead and play Everett.
All right. Number one Rattlers fan says, in their prime, running back 1, Barry Sanders or Marshall Faulk?
Probably Barry Sanders, because I'm not even sure we saw his prime.
Yeah, no doubt. But guys, can we just keep it like current day fantasy football questions? Because, now it's just opinions.
It's 2 layers of fantasy deep. It's
very
fantasy football.
Yeah. All right, Papa Mike with the real question, Tannehill or Burrow? That's right. Ryan Tannehill or Joe Burrow?
I think I would go ahead and play Joe Burrow. Tougher matchup this week, but I really do like what I saw from the Bengals week 1, a team I was high on preseason. Kind of lived up to the hype. I just hope that they don't try to run out the clock again. I hope they learn their lesson and just throw a little bit more, but I would go ahead and play Joe Burrow.
All right. Average Joe says Mike Evans or Tyler Lockett?
What a nice problem to have.
No doubt.
I would go Tyler Lockett.
There you go. That just made Ralph all kinds of happy. Ralph is an insufferable Seahawks fan, by the way, and he hates on everyone else's team. So any joy you give Ralph with the Seahawks hurts all of us a little bit inside. But
so do it more.
You got to be honest. No, he's got to be honest, Ralph.
That is honest.
That's probably the team I was most impressed with week 1 in terms of their play calling. I was really impressed with the Seahawks.
Well, at 70 years old, I'm pretty sure Pete Carroll has had to have learned a few things along the way.
I think he just decided to stop getting his hands involved in it and just step back, because that offensive coordinator did not do what I've seen from Pete Carroll for 20 years.
That is a good point. That is a good point. Well, mate, it took him 70 years to figure out how to let somebody else do it. Berg says, only question I have is, will the Raven kid lose by more than 30 points? It's not a good, he doesn't care about and poor Raven kid, it was a close one last week. He did not do well. We haven't heard from him since then. I think he's depressed. Cheese Skulls Burner says, hey, Siege, I picked up Eli Mitchell from the 49ers after his 100-yard game. Do I dare start him over Saquon Barkley?
Yes. I don't think Saquon Barkley's playable tonight. I would bench him for just about anyone in the top 25 at running back, and probably even a little bit further.
Cheese Skull says, we have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We have breaking news here on the Daily Blender.
This is breaking news.
The Minnesota Vikings have traded Mike Zimmer to the Indianapolis Colts for a latte from Starbucks.
Oh, jeez.
That's not very nice.
I thought this was real.
Yeah, and, Frank Reich is a pretty good coach. Crap at picking quarterbacks. And stop picking my quarterbacks out of your stupid Rolodex, Frank Reich. Sorry, back to the questions for CJ here. Flying Monkey says Jamar Chase or Melvin Gordon in a PPR flex.
Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is at this point, after what I saw week one, he is a lock to play him every week.
All right. Jeff Van Gundy says in one PPR, Corey Davis or Jalen Waddle.
Really tough matchup for Corey Davis, but if Jalen Waddle's the option with Will Thor coming back, I think you got to roll with Corey Davis.
Gorilla Toe says Matt Suhe or Tom Rathman. I said be current. Ukal Lamont says, what up, Zeke Elliott? Any chance he gets more than 5 points this week? What do we do with that?
I think so. We heard this week that Dak audibled out of 13 run plays that they didn't run. So I think this week against the Chargers, we saw the Washington football team have some success on the ground. I think Zeke gets back to 20 touches this week.
Number one Rattler fan says fantasy threesome. Any two of these three, Tina Fey, Nicole Smith. No, Rattler. No, we're keeping it football. But I guess if Siege wants to answer, Tina Fey, Nicole Smith, and Vanessa Williams. Yeah.
I think we'll go ahead and go back to football questions.
Yeah. All right, 888-368-1580. So why don't you go ahead and hit me up here with some of the surprises in fantasy football, and maybe again, give us a little bit of sleeper help here. That stuff that maybe people aren't hearing about out in the general public.
Yeah, so Donovan Peoples-Jones was a disappointment week one, but if you look at his snap count, did play 80% of the snaps without Odell Beckham Jr. Would expect a pretty high snap target again this week. If you're in trouble at wide receiver, I think he's an option for you. Yeah, I just wouldn't over panic with week one, right? Still play your studs. Like, good players have bad games just because it happened week one. Don't relax. Don't panic. Now, Josh Jacobs isn't a good player, but, other than that, you'll be fine.
All right. So what are your thoughts on Galladay? He leaves the Giants. Now, he leaves the Lions. Now he's a Giant. He's going up against a pretty good Washington defense. Is this a guy you should wide receiver one, or you should maybe wide receiver bench?
I wouldn't say wide receiver bench. I wouldn't say wide receiver one. I think he's in that wide receiver two, wide receiver three discussion. If you have a deep team, I could see how he ends up on a bench, but most likely he's going to slot into your starting lineup. I benched him for Jacoby Myers in my high stakes league, but that's where my opponent has Saquon Barkley. I'm hoping he's not listening to the show, but he has Saquon Barkley in his starting lineup, and since I'm very low on him, I went for safety over upside. But that's kind of where I would draw the line.
Gotcha. Fubar 1000 says, CJ, would you keep Philip Lindsay as a handcuff running back?
I would probably try to drop him, but again, it depends on how deep the league is and what the other options are. But I don't think he's ever going to get the role. Mark Ingram getting a lot of the work just screams three-person platoon, and I hate three-person platoons, let alone when they're on the worst team in football.
How do you feel about that whole handcuffing strategy? I mean, a lot of people think that, if I have Alvin Kamara back in the day, I know it's not that, but, then you had Latavius Murray if you handcuff them, though, in case something happens to him, at least I got this guy. But that doesn't always turn into points on the fantasy football because just because you got the guy who is subbing for him doesn't mean they're going to use the same play call with him or that he's going to be capable of getting the same stats. How many guys out there can you look at as a really good handcuff?
Just a couple.
And who are they?
Chuba Hubbard for Christian McCaffrey. DJ Dillon for Aaron Jones. And this one's going to probably be crazy, and maybe it's wrong, but Larry Roundtree for Austin Eckler.
They did run a lot of Roundtree on Sunday.
Yeah, I think I like Justin Jackson, and they liked them too. Maybe it was just they were limiting his workload in week 1, but Roundtree looked good. I think that he would be a guy I'd be happy to start if something was to happen to Eckler.
Big George says, I got one more question for Siege. Marvin Jones, Terry McLaurin, or Mike Davis, flex position, PPR?
Terry McLaurin, play your stud. Don't get cute.
Bang, bang. Papa Mike says, Higbee or Everett?
Higbee was another guy who I thought was a big winner from week 1, played 100% of the snap. He looked good. He's a guy that in week 2 to the end of the season draft, I was moving up pretty aggressively.
Fighting Wampa says PPR flex, DJ Shark from Jacksonville or Meyer from New England.
Jacoby Myers. I think Jacoby Myers against the Jets is in a really good situation this week. No, he didn't have a great week 1. I expect him to fully rebound in week 2. I think he could put up a monster number.
And Jeff Van Gundy says, do you think this fat loser, Latavius Murray, will become a viable starter?
Yes, I would actually. If someone does not like Latavius Murray, I would go buy low.
Yeah,
Tyson Williams was terrible in pass protection. Terrible. They played him in 1 snap in overtime, and it cost them the game. I don't know. I don't see him being a thing for much longer. I got to take a moment here. Yeah, Jeff Van Gundy, what's your problem with Latavius Murray? What did he ever do to you? I just surprised to hear you so hard on the guy. Double K says full point PPR at the flex. DeAndre Swift or Elijah Mitchell? Wow. If Trey Sermon's active on Sunday, DeAndre Swift. If Trey Sermon's not active, boy, that's close. I think I would still play Swift, but I could understand going the other way.
And last fantasy football question of the day comes from Flying Monkeys. He says, Jarvis Landry, Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt. He's throwing in a fourth. You son of a bitch. Or Tyler Boyd. So Landry, Gordon, Hunt, or Tyler Boyd?
I think Kareem Hunt in this matchup will be fine. I think they'll have enough workload on the ground for both backs. I would play him.
And I lied. One more. Cousins or Bridgewater in a POS league?
Oh, good Lord.
I think we should have.
Are you trying to do bad or good in that league?
Yeah, I think we should have ended with the last one.
I actually am in a bad quarterback league. It's one of the most fun leagues I'm in. If you're trying to, so it was Bridgewater and who?
Let's see. It's Bridgewater or Cousins.
I think Cousins against the Bengals will be good. So if you're trying to do bad, like you're in a bad quarterback league, you want to go with Teddy Bridgewater.
So like a bad fantasy football league trying to have the worst viable players. How do you even make rules? Because
it's like a 4 or 5 person league and it's only quarterback.
Oh, that sounds like fun. We should try that. Listen, Siege, go ahead and give everybody your info real fast. Of course, the website you work for.
FantasyGuru.com and EliteFantasy.com. A lot of good stuff over at FantasyGuru.com this week. My colleague wrote up a very good wide receiver article. You should go check that out, FantasyGuru.com. You can follow me on Twitter at TheSiegeDFS. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. We might have to move it up an hour though, but I'll see you guys next week.
Move it up an hour earlier or later? Because the game is on later.
Earlier, yeah. One of my colleagues is getting married, so I have to pick up his Thursday lead up to the Lock show.
Dude,
so we have to move it up early.
He'll understand. Just get on the phone while you're standing there during the ceremony. In fact, I would imagine a lot of the guests are going to have fantasy football questions.
Yeah, well, it's a fantasy. There's going to be a lot of fantasy people in the room, so thankfully I won't have to answer them all.
All right. Well, listen, Siege, thanks a lot for all your help. Have a great week. We'll see you, I guess, next Thursday at 3:18. So we'll just flip our picks and stuff. But hey, thanks for working out our business on air. Appreciate it. All right, Siege. We'll see you next time. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We have On This Date in Big Georgia sports history and other assorted things before Thursday night football. That's right. Giants versus the Washington football team at 5 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Chances are the technology you work with every day is an afterthought
Until it isn't working.
Technical problems can throw a wrench in your day, but computer security issues can expose you and your customers to serious risk. Affinity Technology builds custom IT solutions that help small businesses thrive. No system is too complicated.
If it plugs in, we work with it.
Affinity Technology runs Arizona businesses. Contact us today at atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com. Affinity Technology.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100 plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
What's in store this week at Staples?
A big deal on ink. That's kind of a big deal.
Staples has the technology, furniture, and supplies you need for a totally productive workspace.
And right now, you can earn 40% back in Staples rewards when you purchase any 2 ink or toner cartridges.
Shop in store or get same-day delivery powered by Instacart.
Ends 4/17/21. Limit 4 in store and on Instacart only. Visit staplesconnect.com/ink rewards for details. Instacart delivery subject to availability. Additional fees may apply.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How do you like to work here?
At The Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Some of our listeners are football fans. And then others are football fans. So relax. You're among friends. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Arizona's home for the NFL.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. We are 16 minutes away from the broadcast. Westwood One will give you a game. It will be a game.
No one said it was going to be good.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Actually,
this is football.
Yeah.
Remember a couple of years ago?
I know.
We didn't have any football.
Well, no,
this is football.
What are you talking about? We always had football. A couple of years ago,
A couple of seasons ago, we had no damn football.
we had football. It just wasn't people in the stands. They had football. It was just weird. And now we got the people in the stands, and that's weird because you're sitting there watching these people. You're like, you're going to get COVID. You're going to get COVID. You're going to get COVID. You're fine. You're going to get COVID. But, listen, I'm going to use my theory of football activity. And here is what that is. When two opposing forces are equally as sort of sucky, then you might have a good contest. It may look like a real football game.
Well, I mean, it could be worse.
So
it could be worse, Jeffrey. It could be Wednesday night all over again. And there's no football on Wednesday night.
You're right. You're right.
It could be Tuesday night. There's no damn football on Tuesday.
Also bad. But it's like pizza and sex. Well, same thing with football. Even if it's bad, it's good. So that is what's coming up next year on 1580.
Well, they're going to test that theory tonight, aren't they?
I wonder how many people listening right now are going to try to have pizza and sex tonight watching
football.
game. Yeah.
I would say that is a man card trifecta. You will definitely. Ralph says he's going for it.
I'm trying.
Ralph's going for it. Well, let's see what that. No, not yet. Let's just wait 15 minutes. Wait 15 minutes. Wait 15 minutes.
Oh, they were still on the air?
Yes, please, dear God.
I'm begging you.
Senior Wake and Bake says, Jeffrey, you sound like your body aches when you speak of Carson Wentz and your Colts. Just be glad you're not a Jets or Washington fan. Sorry, Keon. Hey, Ralph, let me know when the solar babies go on sale there. Randy, do you think anyone would notice if the Cardinals switched the O-line with a bunch of little people?
Wow. You're just aching for a whistle, aren't you? You're just aching for a whistle, aren't you?
He's just throwing it around everywhere, but we understand.
I'm not even going to whistle you because you know what? You spread the love around. So there you go.
The love you take is the love you make. I don't know how. What was that O-line?
What did you just say to me?
I don't know.
Because I'm listening.
No, it was the old Beatles song. What? Yeah. Now I'm uncomfortable. Forget it. Jeff Van Gundy wants to explain why he called Latavius Murray a big fat loser. He says, Murray ended my season in Oakland despite being ass the other 14 weeks. My opponent started him in Minnesota years ago and had one good game in him. And now he ruined my Williams stock in Baltimore. So yeah, screw that fatty.
Wait, hold on. Tyson Williams ruined Tyson Williams stock in Baltimore because he can't pass block.
Mm-hmm.
Then when Lamar Jackson fumbled the ball on that last play, guess who was in pass protection? Oh, it was Tyson Williams getting run over by Max Crosby.
I feel like Jeff Van Gundy just wants to blame someone for his bad fantasy football play.
I think that's what it is. Just own it.
Big George says, if this Siege guy keeps moving up the time of his segment, he's going to be on with Bruce Jacobs and Dale Hellestray. Yeah, that's true. I don't think they know what fantasy football is in the morning show because, they don't know how to work computers.
They can't do the pick'em contest.
Bruce, right? And Bruce has a flip phone. There's no way he's playing fantasy football on that thing. Yeah, and also he's a Jets fan. Cabana says, do you think, I don't understand this question. Why would Deshaun Watson's girlfriend try to make him get a haircut? I don't get it. What's that even mean? Moist One says, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm taking the Vikings. The Cardinals are a lot like women. Once a month, they feel the passion of the Red Sea and a torment of
That's just enough right there.
Just leave it right there. Everything snaps back to normal, and they spend the rest of the month getting pounded.
You shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. I warned you, Jeffco.
I don't know what any of that means. Am I being whistled, or are you just horny?
No. I just should have left it right where it was.
Mr. Pringle says, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Lamar Jackson is overrated. Second coming of RG No Knee.
He's a more dynamic runner. He's quite frankly, people say he's not an accurate passer, but his accuracy numbers are up there. So I just don't see it.
Well, and not only that, the guy's been pretty reliable. It was four seasons in the league. He hasn't had an injury.
Yeah.
He had a poo-poo break in the middle of a game, but he hasn't had an injury, right?
You know what I'd say? He's just not clutch. He's good, but he's not clutch.
Lamar Jackson plays better when he's playing with a lead, which is different from Robert Griffin III, who just wasn't playing.
Right. And Lamar Jackson's pretty damn talented, and maybe a little more experience, and he'll start to become what we thought he'd become. Guano, he says, when did Russian yards become a stat? No, Rushing. There's nothing Russian. Berg says, what lower tier league are Big George and Boogie in? I don't know. So far down the ladder, I can't even see them, Berg. I don't know.
No.
La Furia Roja says Phoenix Rising beat the Las Vegas Lights 4-1, and they are now the number one team in the entire USL.
Okay, I have to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What the hell kind of a team names the Las Vegas Lights?
I don't know. Maybe just less calories.
Couldn't they come up with something else? The dragons and rattlesnakes. wild boars or something. What the hell? Las Vegas Lights.
I know.
Who's not going to beat the hell out of that team?
You would imagine, yeah. Every time. Every
Hey, guys,
damn time.
Need you guys to get really revved up here. We're taking on a lot. Las Vegas Lights.
okay,
Whatever.
okay.
Go out there and kick their ass.
I don't know, Randy, but I'm sure La Furia Roja can fill us in. Well, go Phoenix Rising and good luck in whatever's next. I don't know.
Yeah, see, now the Phoenix Rising. Now there's something there. The mythical bird of Phoenix.
Yeah.
And arose from the fire and the flood. See, now
and brought us $1 beer night.
Yes. Bud Light all night for $1. See what I mean? But Las Vegas Lights. Really?
Yeah, it's kind of soft. Chief from the morning show says, to be fair, Bruce did think people played fantasy football to brag about being a better GM. I don't understand what that means. He thinks
He's saying he doesn't play fantasy football because he thinks people play it to brag about being a better GM than the ones they have on their teams.
Yeah, Bruce does not understand fantasy football at all. Jeff Van Gundy says, yeah, sure, Keon. I may not be good at fantasy football, but at least I'm not a fan of a team named Football Team. And Kyler may be short, but at least we aren't starting a quarterback with the last name Heine.
Hey, first off, he's named after a beer. Secondly, Football Team is accurate. It's what they do. I didn't say they did it well.
It's like generic of football teams.
Well,
do you have a dog?
Have you seen them play or what?
Do you have a dog named Dog or DOG? Yeah.
I should do that.
Dog.
I have a dog.
Dog.
What's his name? Dog.
Actually, it's not a bad name for dog.
Or DOG.
Yeah.
What car do you have? Car.
Big George says Lamar Jackson reminds me a lot of Aaron Rodgers, a great regular season quarterback, and then he chokes in the playoffs. I love Lamar Jackson. And shut up, Berg. Nobody asked you. Just the Tip says, as long as we're on the subject, today is National Play-Doh Day. Break out your newspaper. Let's have some fun.
What? Jesus. I thought it was guacamole day.
It's funny because when I saw that, I actually did say, Jesus Christ. And I look over and Berg says, Jesus H. Christ. Who really gives a rat's ass about the UHL or whatever third-rate soccer? Oh, whoa. Berg, easy. Take it easy on the
came in guns blazing.
Rising.
Berg, you don't know what you have done.
Whoa.
If you start pissing off the Phoenix Rising.
I've made friends with them.
They will come over to your house and it'll be worse than any biker gang rally you have ever experienced.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Berg's in a mood. Slow Mo Zo says, speaking of Russians, where's Eric Owens? I don't get that. Who's Eric Owens? La Furia Roja says, Las Vegas Lights are the joke of the entire USL. They have a llama as a mascot.
What?
They got a hype man as a stadium announcer and once dropped money from a helicopter just to get people there. Oh, okay.
Hell is going on here?
It ain't right. Jeff Van Gundy says, petition to name Washington football team the Washington Whites after Randy White, the legend.
Oh, well, thank you.
About that.
It's not going to work.
First off, I happen to like Randy White. I think he's a very good person. And he's been nothing but awesome to me since I've been here.
Well,
I don't want his name attached to the misery of that team.
Yeah.
Because when I watch that team, I do nothing but say what they're called at whatever time it is that that's happened. And then many swear words.
Yeah.
I don't want that attached
Don't
to
want to
Randy White.
associate it with Randy White.
No, not at all.
That and maybe not the best play to call them the Whites.
No, obviously
Just saying.
Well, they got a team called the Browns.
Yeah.
But they're not named after a
still
racial group. You know, just it's a difference.
Just leave it there. Just leave it there.
Rough Rob
Paul
says
Brown was a guy. It's named after him.
Are you saying I'm not a guy?
He's a guy. He is a guy.
But yeah, but your name following what the team name used to be, the connotation is not going to be the guy Randy White.
Just saying. Rough Rob says the Bruce Jacobs show is awesome in the morning. Mets, Jets, and cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good promo. Mets, Jets, and cigarettes.
I am going to write that down because I'm going to use that. I'm going to have Bud, our voice guy, do that.
Seriously. Well done there. Blissful Hayes says Washington, not the Redskins, will beat the Giants tonight. Okay.
All right.
Berg says, bring it on, soccer frauds. UHL is a joke league. Yeah, Berg, I don't know why you're trying to start some crap, but okay, I'll let you.
Are you on some new medicine?
Is Berg a soccer fan?
No.
Okay.
0%. I think that's what it is. He just can't stand soccer at all. I make jokes about soccer. I was almost murdered. So I don't know what Berg is thinking. Are you trying to get some insurance money? I don't understand what's going on here. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1960, Amos Alonzo Stagg, the father of American football, stepped down as coach of the Stockton Junior College in California at the young age of 98. After a 71-year career on the sidelines, including 40 years at University of Chicago. His undefeated University of Chicago Maroons team of 1905 and 1913 were national champions. Can you imagine 98 years old and you're still on a sideline trying to coach a team, 71 years of coaching, watching how much football would change from 1905, even on. And now remember, he retired in 1960. So he was there for all of it, all of football for the most part. And then, of course, he, as what happens, 4 years later, he died at the age of 102.
Yeah.
Not of old age, just shooting it open. Anyway, but still.
It wasn't the fall that killed him.
Yeah.
Sudden stop.
Wrecked him. Damn near killed him. But you got to see like this weird version of football sort of become what modern football became. That was pretty impressive.
I wonder if he was ever on the sidelines like, what are you punks doing putting these plastic helmets on? Back in my day, we didn't have helmets, you punk. Get out of here.
Get that silly crap off of your head. Get back in there.
Back
Quit
in my
crying.
day, we didn't throw the football forward.
Break some tape. His arm is broken. And get back in there and play.
Yeah, these days, CTE, CT me, put in my foot in your ass. It was a different time. All right, everybody. Coming up next, you got the Washington football team more than likely getting beat by the New York Giants. Ralph, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah.
Everybody else, we will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. for an in-depth, probably 2.5 hour look at tonight's game.
Hey, there we go.
Or not. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.